So today we finally had some decent buying pressure take place with Tesla. However, I want to warn everyone that this does not necessarily mean that everything is fine and dandy for Tesla. Now some of you guys may be wondering, well, what exactly took place that caused Tesla to move up? And so we're going to go ahead and talk about what was the main catalyst, and then go ahead and talk about where we're currently at with Tesla and what is it that we should be watching out for, as well as just touching on the broader markets as well. So make sure to watch this video in its entirety. Now, of course, the major news for today is that all Teslas in the United States get 1 month trial of FSD beta starting this week. Now, in this blog by Electric, it actually pinpoints something that a lot of people may not understand, and that is that the take rate for FSD has been relatively low, and Tesla on other occasions has offered trial memberships or trials for fully self-driving in the past. And so this isn't entirely new, but what makes this one a bit unique from what we've seen in the past is simply this tweet right over here from Elon Musk himself, stating that all US cars that are capable of FSD will be enabled for a 1 month trial this week, which is completely different from what we've seen in the past, where new Tesla purchases have gotten trials for FSD, where now we're seeing all Teslas in the United States, right, to clarify, have the ability to try on FSD with this trial. And so this is definitely good news. However, I want to warn us that it may not be entirely the news that gets us all the way back up to the top. Now, recently we had Farzad, who is a YouTuber, very notable in the Tesla space. He's made a ton of tweets, a ton of videos. In fact, he's even gotten reposted and responses from Elon Musk himself. And he stated that this is an absolutely positive thing for Tesla, in the sense that, of course, if we have more Teslas kind of training on this model, driving on the road, well, that will help optimize FSD faster. And I 100% agree with him on that. But I don't necessarily think that this is a huge kind of catalyst. And I want to go ahead and touch on the reasons why. But I also want to cover a couple of things as well. For example, even the blog post from Electric ended up saying in their take at the end of this article, saying that we haven't tried V12 yet, which is the latest version of FSD, but we've been promised several times to have our minds blown by FSD updates, and alas, our minds are still well contained within their respective head cases. And so, of course, it's great news to have more drivers on the road kind of test out with this trial on FSD. This way it could kind of build on itself, but the reality is it's not going to change much, because, of course, the take rates are still going to be low. Perhaps we'll convert some individuals, but we've done this in the past multiple times with Tesla, and it hasn't had a meaningful change in the take rate for FSD. And quite honestly, FSD, while it has had some major improvements, it's still on level 2 autonomy. It's not near level 5 autonomy, which is something that Elon Musk has promised for a few years now. Every single year he's saying this is a year, yet here we are still in another year without fully self-driving actual cars. And so that's why I want to warn everyone that, look, while this news seems optimistic, it doesn't necessarily really change the reality for Tesla. Now, further on in this video, I want to go ahead and hop into my laptop. This way we could also talk about Tesla stock from a technical perspective, as we often do, because we like to just cover things from a multitude of different perspectives. And so with that said, if you haven't done so already, just a friendly reminder to go ahead and tap that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future upload. I mean, come on, it's free to go ahead and tap that subscribe button. But in all reality, let's go ahead and hop into my laptop, talk about Tesla as well as the broader markets.
Alrighty, so we are officially in my laptop taking a look at Tesla, and part of the reason why I'm doing this warning, kind of stating that I don't want individuals to kind of get too excited here with Tesla. I know some people are going to see this move here and the catalyst and think, oh, well, this is the absolute bottom, is simply because we're still at an area where there's a lot of volume relative to price over here on the volume profile on the right hand side, and that still creates this area of resistance. In fact, even with the move today with Tesla pushing up, you see this big wick over here, right? The candle is red. It got rejected, right? That means that the price went up high and it ended up getting rejected at this area. And that's an area that I talked about in my previous video, and I've been stating that I'm waiting for confirmation, right? I know I make a lot of bearish videos on Tesla, but I am still long-term bullish. I just haven't been buying in the long-term portfolio for Tesla. I haven't been adding shares because I still am not concerned. I still don't have confirmation, is what I'm trying to say, of the uptrend, right? I've talked about in December 28th how I believe Tesla is overvalued, and one of the things that kind of irks me, all right, and again, no shade to Farzad, by the way. Farzad is not the individual I'm talking about. There's definitely other YouTubers or other people in the Tesla space who tell you every single time that this is the absolute bottom for Tesla, yet we keep seeing Tesla go down lower. I mean, the whole entirety of Tesla falling down this whole time, I kept seeing individuals on X or, formerly Twitter, and I'm still trying to get the names correct sometimes, but on X, Twitter, YouTube saying this is the bottom, this is the bottom. I even saw people say, 180 was the bottom. And I kept saying, look, I'm just being patient. I don't think it's the right time. There's no confirmation. And then everyone was so happy until we saw Tesla fall down even further. And I'm seeing that excitement once again from some of these individuals who have a large following with Tesla, or just a large following built off of talking about Tesla, where they're saying, look, this big move, this is going to change everything. People are going to have FSD, and that's going to contribute to FSD learning so much. But when we take a look at the price action, it doesn't really suggest that. And again, one of the things I said is, for me personally, towards the upside, I want to see Tesla close above 200, because at least it's above this area where there's a lot of volume relative to price, and that'll give me confirmation to add into my long-term portfolio. Again, you should only do whatever you see value in. Don't copy me. Don't copy any of these other people. I mean, if you have, you're probably sorry because your portfolio is doing bad. And I always get the person saying, oh, well, I'm just averaging down. Well, yeah, that's cool, right? It's cool if you're averaging down in the long term. But I like to just buy in bulk when there is confirmation of an uptrend. And for a while, I've been telling the members in the Push and Profit private group, I'm not interested in buying Tesla in my long-term portfolio or even trading Tesla. We've had so many good trade ideas. In fact, the pretty much the broader markets have done really well. You could have just put your money into S&P 500 and done better than Tesla. We killed it with Nvidia within the Push and Profit private group, right? We killed it with other swing trade ideas such as let's go ahead and talk about Geo. Well, I'm not going to go ahead and delve into Geo, but another swing trade idea that broke out. I mean, there's been so many other opportunities, which is why I've been ignoring Tesla. And I just don't want to see people kind of get persuaded by these people who are big on YouTube or Twitter or X saying this is the time to buy. And again, no shade to Farzad. Farzad is actually one of the few I guess you would say, influencers in the space that talk about Tesla that I actually enjoy. So if Farzad's watching this, or anyone who's a fan of him, I definitely enjoy his perspective. I often joke around that he's my uncle. He's not, but Uncle Farzad, hopefully don't get too upset. But what's very concerning is you have a lot of individuals who, and I'm not going to say names, right? They'll say that Tesla was a great time to buy throughout this long period, and then they actually sold their shares of Tesla or completely got rid of it from their portfolio, which I think is a bit, I'm trying to think of the word, I don't want to say nefarious, but it's kind of, I don't know, just misleading to kind of have a huge audience saying this is the time to buy Tesla and then completely liquidate your position in Tesla and pretend it never happened. But again, not going to call out any specific names. It's actually a few people that are in that space, but again, this is not a YouTube quote diss video or anything like that. It's just, hey guys, just be mindful that you want to wait for confirmation, or at least that's what I'm waiting for. You guys do whatever you see value in. I still think that there is some pain that we could possibly see for Tesla, and the other area I'm looking for if Tesla falls down is this gap over here around $150, and 150 to 155. And I often get people commenting saying, oh, you're flip-flopping on Tesla. No flip-flop on Tesla. Still the same stance. Long-term bullish. I long-term like the idea of Tesla. We know that there's government incentives to push EV vehicles, but it's just not the right time and place for Tesla. And again, you work hard for your money. You want to make your money work hard for you. And that's why it's important to be prudent with your capital. You don't want to just throw it on something that's not doing well. You want to wait for confirmation. That's like the individuals who try to tell me that NIO, which is one of the Chinese EV stocks, that they're buying it at a deal, yet it continues to go down. Or let's take a look. I don't even have to show the other ones. All the other EV automakers are pretty much dying off. I mean, I just made a video talking about how they may not even survive this wave. But let's go ahead and transition to the broader markets, as I often do. And I'm going to go ahead and delve into the broader markets for those within the Push and Profit private group in our daily briefing for tonight, which for those of you guys that are unaware, there's a link in the description of this video. It's the first link where you have access to my daily briefings, where every single day I provide an update on the broader markets and what stocks I'm looking and what looking at and what ideas I like. And again, it's the first link in the description below. There is a coupon to join, so and again, you could cancel at any time. But we'll go ahead and delve into SPY. But I do want to touch on something, right? Because I've seen that there's been a lot of negative sentiment with the S&P 500, especially because it's gotten a few red candles. In fact, we have this article over here from Reuters saying that the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 fell for the third straight time, with just inflation data and, just kind of highlighting that the markets are looking bad. It's a third time falling down, but you kind of have to take these headlines with a grain of salt, right? Of course, they're trying to be a bit juicy. This is not really a huge move down. In fact, one of the reasons you have to understand a candle is red on a daily time frame is because it's calculated by seeing the opening price for the day and the closing price of the day. But if you look day over day, yeah, is it still down? Of course, but it's down such a minuscule amount. I mean, we closed at around right over here, which is like such a small move. And I think too many individuals have gotten a bit comfortable with the market pretty much for the entirety of 2024 going straight up, that when you see a few of these red days, you get concerned. And I've been treating these red days as dip buying opportunities. I talked about it within the Push and Profit private group with the last few inflationary reports, how this was a dip buying opportunity. Everyone thought the market was going to crash over here or fall down because of the hotter than expected CPI report. No, it didn't. It was actually a dip buying opportunity. We also saw that again around over here. Again, it was another dip buying opportunity. And right now, the market structurally is still on this trend where it doesn't suggest that anything is broken. And I think, of course, seeing these red candles and seeing headlines say, oh, the market's down for the third day in a row, it's a bit misleading. I mean, this is such a small move. And we also saw it, I believe, what day was it? It was this day as well, where, of course, the candle's red, but if we look at it, it's such a small move, and I think everyone's kind of gotten used to the market just going up, and we forget that the market sometimes trades in sideways ranges and sometimes moves down a bit slightly before it continues going up. Of course, I've told the Push and Profit private group that we're cautious with this upside, as there's a couple of things we're going to be looking for in April, but of course I'm going to go ahead and go a bit deeper with that within the Push and Profit private group. But with that said, you guys let me know in the comment section below, and of course everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you believe that right now you want to go ahead and deploy capital into Tesla, by all means. I just want to warn people not to get misled by a lot of these people saying, oh, they're putting all their money on Tesla, when in reality they're really not. Some of them are even selling, which is just shameful. And again, just trade and invest in whatever you see value in. I'm just pointing out that right now, economically, we're in this high interest rate environment, still not the best environment for Tesla. And of course, from a technical perspective, things are looking a bit iffy. And from a fundamental perspective, this news today doesn't make a huge difference. But of course, we're going to continue monitoring Tesla and continuously making updates. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video over here. And before you guys go, make sure to check out this next video right over here. And I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care, guys.